So next is about respiratory diseases. So the aging process slowly degrades the respiratory system's structure as well as function. So putting older people at greater risk of these disorders. So these are the following changes we can see: diminished muscle strength, a stiffer chest wall, decreased elasticity in the alveoli, reduced surface area, diminished capacity for gas exchange, decreased vital capacity, as well as we can see dry mucous membrane. So all these changes will contribute to the respiratory diseases. So what all diseases we can see? Bronchitis, asthma, pneumonia, tuberculosis, as well as COPD. Old age persons can experience all these things. So some of these diseases can lead to other diseases like cardiac disease. So when a nurse is planning a treatment or planning a care, so they have to include the other specialties also, because if there is decreased amount of oxygen in the body, any system can be affected because oxygen is needed. So coming to the nursing diagnosis, first one, ineffective airway clearance related to excessive secretions in the airway, otherwise loss of cough reflex or inability to expectorate. Any of the one reason you can select. As evidenced by, you can add. So we have to assess the patient's ability to clear secretion. If the patient is not able to clear the secretion, we have to manage the things. So we can instruct the patient to turn side by side every 2 hours. If the patient is not able to do by himself, we have to assist the patient in order to turn to side by side. So we have to maintain sideline position with the head end of the bed elevator. So we have to make sure that the patient maintains sideline position with head end elevator to 30 degree. So that means, for why we are giving this sideline position, it will facilitate the drainage of the secretion and it will prevent the tongue from falling back. So further obstruction can be prevented. Secretion can be drained, so the aspiration can be prevented, so that we can prevent the pneumonia. So assess breath sounds every hour in acute ill patients, so that we can find out any accumulation of what secretions. So perform postural drainage or chest physiotherapy. Keep the suction apparatus as well as oxygen available. So monitor the ABG values. Always connect the pulse oximetry and make sure that if any abnormality is found out, we have to record it properly. So we have to monitor the patient for signs of infection or further deterioration of respiratory status. How can we identify? If there is increase or decrease of sputum, changes in the sputum's color or consistency, fever, increased shortness of breath, and changes in breath sounds. All these findings will be used in order to find out whether the respiratory function is deteriorated. So we can administer antibiotics also based on the need or based on the prescription. So that is all about the first nursing diagnosis. Moving to the second one, ineffective breathing pattern related to dyspnea. So as intervention, we have to regularly monitor the respiratory rate and pattern of the patient. Educate the patient to use diaphragmatic breathing. Teach the patient to use pursed lip breathing. Encourage deep breathing and coughing exercises. Assist the patient to a position that helps alleviate dyspnea. See, these all things are self-explanatory. You can add points. So diaphragmatic breathing, what all you should explain to the patient. So how to do diaphragmatic breathing, that you can add here. So teach the patient to use pursed lip breathing. How to do pursed lip breathing, the steps you can add. Encourage deep breathing as well as coughing exercises. You can write the coughing exercises here. Assist the patient to a position that helps alleviate dyspnea. So what all position will help to prevent dyspnea? That all things you can list down here. So just now you message me What all position you can give to alleviate dyspnea? Just WhatsApp me. And finally, altered nutrition, less than body requirement related to shortness of breath. So intervention, assess the fluid status and document the intake and output. Weigh the patient on the same scale at the same time every day to ensure the accuracy. Perform oral care before meals. Encourage resting before meals. So we can perform oral care so that the taste differences will not be there, so the patient can take food with interest. So encourage resting period before meals. Sometimes we can provide supplemental oxygen. Why? Because sometimes the eating is increase the demand. So we can give resting before, or we can provide oxygen before. So encourage the patient to take frequent small meals that are easy to chew and non-gas producing. Encourage the patient to avoid caffeinated beverages and dry foods. Dry foods again will lead to dehydration. So that is all about respiratory diseases.